Hey everyone, this is the Creatively Curious Podcast. Trevor Miles here, he, him, his.
Dean Richards, he, him, his.
And today we are talking about motto or mantra. You decide. Dean, what is your personal calling card?
How many numbers are on that card?
Shouldn't it have words instead of numbers?
Who am I even using it to call?
Well, what do you want people to say to you?
Will they answer the phone first?
As a matter of fact, what do you say to yourself?
Should I be having more of those conversations?
We're going to stop there. That was really good. That means we're talking. That means we're here. Where's everybody's piece of scratch paper? Where's your stuff? We're here, everyone. Creatively Curious. We're live. And wow, that was good, Mr. Dean. What conversation should you be having with yourself? Yes, today we are talking to everybody about the differences between a motto, a mantra, and how you formulate those, who is in charge of creating those, what power they hold, and what power you can give them. I have no idea what they are. I'm operating from like ground zero level of knowledge with this.
That's okay,
I don't know what's going
because
on.
I have on deck a definition for the folks.
Dean is the teacher today, y'all. We are the students in his
Listen
class.
up and give me my apples.
Come on.
Motto is a brief phrase or sentence expressing idea, belief, and rule guiding you in conducting your affairs with others. Mantra, on the other hand, is a word, phrase, or brief sentence that you say to yourself privately. You know what I also have, Trevor? I have a motto and a mantra, actually. I've been thinking about this because I really am excited about this episode, and I guess I can say that my motto is treat others how you want to be treated. I'm somebody who believes in karma. I believe in the energy you put out is the energy you get back. And so I try to approach everybody with a level of decency and compassion because I want them to give me the same. As far as a mantra, something I say to myself, I think that's two variations of the same statement. And that statement is, Dean, you got this. Or, Dean, you don't have this. And that's what I try to say to myself, not necessarily when I'm looking in the mirror, sometimes in the mirror, but I say it to myself in general to really wrap my mind around how am I equipped or ill-equipped to approach any situation.
I think that is beautiful. I am so glad you have that for yourself.
Thank you.
I ain't got them.
So,
I don't know
well, by the end of this episode, I'm going to challenge you to try to think on it because I know you can.
I'm sitting over here like, what? No, I have a misconception, or I'll say maybe even misunderstanding of the two, because I've always operated with that kind of quick fix way of thinking with social media. So mottos, for me, a quick tagline, right? When I was with Trevor C. Dance Collective, we on tour, girl. And that was just our thing on the flyers, on the posters. And it was something funny the audience members could say to us. It let them know that we were actively moving around the city and you could come see us. When I think about Trevor C. Media, from movement to media, that doesn't feel like a motto. It's more of a tagline, but it's the words that's attached to what the idea of me being a dancer and then moving into the media space, from movement to media. But I still don't feel motto with those. I feel more so it's a marketing thing. And so I'm still hung up on this idea of how to make a motto, or I guess you said it's from the outside coming in, right?
The
motto.
Motto,
It's
yes.
from the world. So is it something that people like consistently say about you and then you adopt?
So it's not, and I appreciate that because I actually, prior to like really giving this episode subject matter thought, I kind of was along the lines of as well as like confused. Like I thought mantra was something you live by, just in general. I didn't actually even think as far as like outside versus inside. So I appreciate that questioning. I think motto is like, if you were to, and I've said this before, so forgive me if it's triggering for people. If you were to not wake up tomorrow, what is it you would want the world to know you by? What is like a statement that could surmise who you are and what you represented? That's a motto.
And so yours would be, you said, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yep.
Wow.
And people think, when they think of Dean, they think of he was someone who treated people the way he wanted to be treated.
Wow, I feel so lost. What's mine? I don't know. What is mine? I don't know.
You know what? And the funny thing about that is that I could think, I know you, I could think of a gajillion mottos for you, but that's actually not even how it works. It's not anything the outside world puts on someone. It's the steering wheels, they're in the driver's seat. It's actually what they decide they want the world to make synonymous to their brand or their image. So it comes from them to the outside world. The outside world embraces it and then in theory puts it back on them.
Okay, let's unpack that idea because I very much enjoy the concept of, hey, I'm going to narrate what ideas are around my entity, if you will. I like your usage of the word steering wheel. I'm going to kind of control what people say or how they address me or how they talk of me in spaces or think of me with this sentence that is attached to myself. So I like that idea. What I'm wondering is it something that you just kind of wake up one morning and like, hey, this is my motto. I'm going to tell people this all the time. They're always going to catch me saying this like a little phrase. This is my catchphrase. Where does it become a way of living and a behavior that you adapt? When is it just words that you want attached to you? Because mine could easily be bad and bougie, right? It could easily be...
Okay. I mean, that might be copyrighted, but we ain't going... hey, y'all, Migos don't come for us.
It could easily be like, you know... well, no, that's kind of gratuitous. I can't say that on air. It could be a couple things, right? But like, when is it just for jokes and giggles? And when is it like, no, this is actually the way I show up in my place of work, in my relationships? That's why I really liked yours. You said, treat people the way they want to be treated. That's something I see you do as a human.
Thank you.
So are we supposed to follow our mottos and that's what makes it real? Or is it just something that's real catchy? People like it makes sense.
I think when you say it, it's very much like you said, your words, a tagline. When you back it up with actions is when it becomes a motto. Because you're showing the world, hey, I'm standing behind what I say. And one thing, you might say a gajillion things about me, but you can't say that I didn't act in a way that backed up what I said. And I want to draw a slight distinction here if I could go off on a little tangent. When I said you have the steering wheel, I meant not necessarily that you have full control over your perception, but that you have the most influence on it. So you can say what once you find a motto, you can say that all day. That doesn't mean everybody's going to say this is what Trevor stands for. There's going to be haters out there that won't say otherwise. But you know, as far as your ability to influence the world and tell them this is what you're about, you put that out there first. And this is what you told them. If they listen to it or not, that's up to them. But you know what you gave them a chance to, that you gave them a chance to get in the car.
I'm sitting with it. What about like, hello, I'm Bougetto. Do it got a rhyme?
I feel like you're trying to be like funny, but we're serious. So you're just gonna confuse the listeners.
No, okay, no, but I know people are sitting thinking like, wait, a motto. I have to like, should I put it on my resume? Like, I'm actually asking questions that I'm thinking people will ask. Like,
no, you use it in your interview.
Period.
If you're gonna mention it, you use it in your interview. Let's just work on getting in the door first with the nice resume, the professional resume, and then once you get in that seat, then you could tell them, here's what I believe in and here's how I've acted in my previous positions to show that I'm standing behind what I believe in.
Okay, all jokes aside then.
Yes.
With that being said, I want to swing back to my question of the behavior. I like that. Certainly. Let's get back on track. I like the idea of implementing the behavior and then that becoming a way of being, a way that becomes synonymous with what the words are. People see, okay, this person's backing it up. They're not just saying cool words and cool phrases attached to the name. This is how they live. What does that have to do with the mantra, though?
I hadn't thought about that question until you just asked it, actually.
Checkmate.
Not quite. I'm good at wiggling.
Come on.
Give me a sec. Let me get my talk to my peoples and get my ideas right. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I think in all seriousness, I think that you know what? And I'm not thinking this through real time. So excuse me all if I sound a bit there's added silence on the mic or anything, because I'm honestly thinking this through real time because I hadn't thought about it prior. For me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, I think that a motto is external, something I put out there for the world. And if I do a good enough job of walking the walk, talking the talk, and actually putting action behind my words as my motto, then I think that allows me to like believe in the mantra, the things I say to myself, by myself. And so bringing back to what I said was that my mantra is, Dean, you got this. And I think that it's a weird synergy between the two. I've worked really hard to gain a lot of skills. And as a result, people see my brand and they give me opportunities to do things. And so I put a lot of stuff on my plate. And I'm always doing something. People know, in the last episode, one of the last episodes, I said that I do too much. I work too much. That's still true. I think I'm always going to do that. But I think that I take on so many things because the world has listened to my motto and spoken back with, we trust you. We're going to give you opportunities to do things. And I know that because my motto comes from a place of decency and more other-centric than self-centered, I know that, I can do what I set my mind to doing. Yeah, so I don't know if I was a little confusing with that, but I think they're intertwined in a way. And for me, because I am so intent on living my motto, or at least trying to, that enables me to feel good about living my mantra.
Well, I have no idea of anything around the landscape of a motto. However, I can speak to mantra a lot better. For me, a mantra first is formed by understanding where you might be lacking, where you want to grow. What are the things that you don't have that you would like to have? And so I developed my personal mantras by sitting and thinking about what are some things that came up in therapy? What are some things that came up with discussions with friends? What are some areas in life where I just feel like, darn it, I'm slipping on this area? Self-love. So to battle that, Trevor, you are enough. Trevor, you are whole. Trevor, you are at peace. And not just saying those sentences, but understanding what those sentences mean. For me, Trevor, you are enough. It means that you have the capacity, you have the reservoir of knowledge and information and the willingness to learn and move forward. And so that is enough. You don't have to be the best of the day. You are enough right here in this space showing up. And Trevor, you are whole. That means you have the toolkit right there. More tools will come, but know that you are whole and say that you're whole and believe you're whole. Stop seeing yourself as a broken teacup. Even if it is a broken teacup, all those pieces are still right there on the table, right? That's still whole. It doesn't have to be whole in the same concept. These pieces are just, you know what? Maybe we didn't need all of that. Maybe some of that is a little bit rusty over there. You know what? That handle, we don't want a handle. We want rockets because we go into outer space. So put them on the bottom of the teacup. I'm imaginative, everyone. So whatever that may be, Trevor, you are whole. That sentence means a lot to me. And Trevor, you are at peace. That is one of the sentences for me that's important because I do tend to zip. I do tend to go. I do tend to move. I tend to do something called future tripping, where I think about future issues that have not happened yet, but I try to prepare myself for that. And that keeps me in this cycle of, oh my God, something bad's coming. Uh-oh, something's wrong. Oh no, it is wrong. Actually, it's really not. But I'm manifesting that because I believe it's so hard, right? So when I say my mantra, it's to counteract those things. And all three of those ideas for me equals self-love. And to do the practice of saying it to myself is self-love. So that's why I challenge and kind of joke so much in the beginning about the motto, because I get it, I hear it. To me, it still comes off as like oh, that's a tagline. That's something that you see on a little Hallmark card. That's just something somebody say in a song. But I'm getting a new understanding of it. But for me, mantra sticks so much more because it is something you create. It's something you need to create because you're seeing where you are limited and where you want to grow. And it's what you're manifesting for the future. And so those are the three things I say to myself personally. So I just need to put that out there.
I appreciate that. And I just slight nod to listeners. You're not really supposed to tell people your mantra. Like, you're supposed to say it to yourself by yourself. But Trevor and I are kind of going out on a limb here trying to be transparent because we want you all to understand what a mantra could look like. And now that you've kind of unpacked your world of a mantra, which I greatly appreciate, Trevor, I can't let you go, man. We boys.
And I want to challenge you too, because you said something I need to challenge now. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a thought about. So, please do offer the challenge. Before you do that, very quickly, just a heads up for a few minutes. I can never give you your motto. You have to decide that. Like I said earlier in the episode, that would never be right. But I will just acknowledge that I could sit here and think about mottos that might match who my perception of you are. And that's a very positive thing, but I could think about that all day. So I'm confident you could easily develop yours. And that's why I rock with you, because of the perception that I have of you. And so I'm really curious to see what your perception of you is that you want to give to me and the rest of the world. But please offer your challenge that you were thinking about earlier.
So that motto thing, we'll swing back around. But for mantra, you told the listeners, you actually shouldn't tell people, it's for you. What I want to twist that wording to say is, know that it can be a sacred thing, but definitely feel free to share that. Okay. The fact that we share that is how other people can see us in a new light and also have a different respect for us and also, hopefully, formulate their own. Why would you hold on to something so beautiful? If you choose to do that, but there's not a rule book that says, oh no, if you tell somebody your mantra, it's invalid. Absolutely not. Share that light.
And I can appreciate the challenge, and I agree with that thought patterns. You should teach it to others. Here's, I guess, teasing it out again, real time here. You made me think of like motto is kind of if you have children or if you work with young people, if you are a mentor to somebody, it's kind of a rule of life that you can go through life, and as long as you that's one of the tenets that you live by, it's a good thing. Mantra is more to the particular person. Like some of the mantras you have for yourself, you may not teach others that they need to say to themselves because that's a you thing that you develop for yourself. Whereas a motto, no, like treat others with respect, for example. Like that's something that if people go around the world doing, it's going to be a great benefit to them and everyone else. So I guess I would draw that distinction with it, keeping in mind what you said.
And now that I can see that distinction, tenets, right, for life, things that we live by, things that are passed down through communities, things that are passed down through schools. I can think of different summer camps I worked at where we had phrases to make the kids remember certain things during the 8 weeks we would be with them. You'll have to remember these things. These are important. But they're life lessons that could be taken outside of the camp space. So, again, motto is cool. To me, as a marketer, right, that marketing hat on in media, it does still make me think about...
Do you draw a distinction between tagline and motto? Because I keep You keep speaking the
They're
way
the
that
same.
interchanges the two almost.
It's almost. It sounds the same to me. It sounds the same to me. It's just like a quick phrase that like is a commonly known phrase, and when we hear it, we're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Would you a tagline you would put in print somewhere? Would you put a motto in print somewhere?
Yeah. Motto on a shirt. Yeah, you've never seen the shirts with the Rosa Parks motto? Any of her quotes? And I know that's a little bit more of a quote than a motto, but
yeah,
like,
I mean, I've
I
seen
can
quotes,
totally see that. Like, just printed somewhere. Yeah, that's why I made the joke earlier, like Hallmark card. Like for me, a motto starts to sound like it's just something anybody can have. Mantra is something that you make because you need to.
Anybody can have or anybody can make?
Both.
Okay.
And when I say have, I mean possess. What I said for me, Trevor, you are whole. Everybody can't have that. And not have as in here, I give it to you. Everybody can't take that. Their facility, their process.
Nobody's
that's
Trevor
not
but
for
Trevor.
them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a motto, well, yeah, treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Of course, sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I got you.
That is a standard, basic human life. Yeah.
I got you.
So that's why I battle motto so much today. Because I'm like, sounds cheesy to me. But if it works for you, do your thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's not to like downcast it in light where it's not, yeah. It's just the way you approach life, it sounds like.
And maybe I can learn to open up my mind a little bit more about it, because there are, again, some mottos that are like, hey, you remember this rhyme? It's going to save your life. Okay, you ever been hiking and then needed to remember something real quick about a bear? Look.
How many times did PEMDAS help me in math?
Come on, math. Right now, is it division or is it subtraction first?
Parentheses, like, exponents, addition.
You're not going to forget that. And so, I mean, I before E, like whatever, you know? They help, and so they're nifty, but they're just so commonplace almost for me. They're so it's almost like a penny. It's almost like a penny. A motto's like a penny. It's a helpful penny, and it's a penny that again can save your life. But it's just too easily made up by almost anyone, and it almost, depending, and this is my corny brain, but I think it could go into like the realm of somebody being not hoity-toity, but somebody being like, oh, this is my motto. Like, okay, your name is John. Sit down, John.
I can see that.
Like, you're just John.
No offense to John.
Yeah, no offense to no Johns out
Any
there.
John listeners, please
Love
keep
you,
listening.
John. But no, like, I could just see somebody using a motto and trying to, like, be extra with the motto. And it's like, what are you doing? Who are you, John? What you doing?
Oh, okay. I hear you. I'm following you with that. Is that an assumption that people don't have the right to do that about themselves and the things they say should be a motto?
People do have the right to do it because we're humans. We're alive. We're able. You can put words into a space about yourself.
Forgive me. Maybe not have the right. Maybe have the right is the wrong wording.
Okay.
Should all people be granted equal opportunity to do it and empowered to put out their own motto?
I won't say no, because you don't know what a good motto is until you hear a bunch of bad ones.
What? Okay. Look, y'all, we didn't even plan this for the podcast. What's a bad motto? Give me an example, please, because I'm curious.
Hey, Siri.
I don't know if Siri's voice is copyrighted, y'all, so we're not going to listen to Siri's response, so please don't play Siri's voice. As he's actively looking up this.
Playing out here, like, this is real. Like, we saving people's lives.
I mean, you said it was a thing, so you got to come up with the receipts. You said you always like receipts.
Okay, so, and this is so funny because right here on Google about mottos, it also makes them synonymous with advertising slogans and taglines.
I believe you.
It's all the same world, and it has a list of 30, and then there's another list on here that's 8 from popular brands, which names I won't say because hopefully we get endorsements from them one day. But it says these mottos are incomprehensible, and that's what makes it a bad motto. It's something that you hear and you're like, that didn't register quick enough. It's just words. I don't even want to say the mottos because, like I said, they're really big brands. People will be like, oh, are y'all coming for my...
Okay, so like from what you said, it sounds like if dish detergent company said their motto was gets the dishes done. What? Like, isn't that the function of all dish detergents? Like, what makes yours special? Like, that would be an example of a bad motto, right?
I want to find a good... Okay. Oh, here we go. here goes an example of a bad motto, depending on context. The more you play with it, the harder it gets.
Yeah, that could be misconstrued in a bad way.
Like, I'm not naming no companies. I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm looking at it, and it's actually for a joystick controller, right? So I get it. I get where they're going. You're going to upper level on the game. You hear me. You're going to advance on the game. It's going to become more difficult. You got to play with the joystick to get to the more difficult.
I am so glad you defined that, because I don't want our platform streaming service, Buzzsprout, or anybody like nixing us from service. So,
okay, I found a motto for a place that makes glasses.
Okay.
Sitting on faces since 2001. Like, come through with the innuendo. Come on. I'm here for a good sexual innuendo always. But, like, y'all. Y'all.
That doesn't, yeah. I mean, that's cool, but, like, it's too cheeky for me.
That's right. You can go too far. And so when I'm thinking about people making their own personal mottos, when are we going to get into Cornville? When are we going to start to get into an area where it's really like, yeah, you shouldn't have said that about yourself. We ain't going to say that about you. We're not going to tag that motto to you. That should have been a mantra for yourself.
You know what? Speaking of, because and you're making me think here. So sorry to interrupt.
Something for every hole.
You're making. Let's not use that motto, y'all. Let's not.
After dinner, you can stab your date. Like, come on, y'all.
In this moment, you can stop. That's my motto.
Truth.
That's my motto, Trevor Miles. So, as I was saying before you interrupted me with all those horrible, horrible mottos, as I was saying, you just helped me think of a tool that the listeners can use. And I think I'm going to challenge myself to use it. I want to go out there and I want to find at least 10 people and ask those 10 people, if you had to give me a motto, what would you say my motto is? What am I known for? In a sentence. And see what the response is. And then think to yourself, does that actually equate to what I want people to remember me as? I think that's a good exercise to do. I think that would be helpful, just to get a pulse check on people's perception of you and your brand, or your brand, because you can be synonymous. You can be synonymous with your brand, or you can be separate of your brand and have two different perceptions, one for each.
Yeah, you should have never brought me into this rabbit hole, because I'm just stuck on these.
Please be unstuck so we can move on.
Okay.
It's easy.
It said cheat on your girlfriend, not your workout. Like, what? That's a motto? So that's why I'm just done with the idea of it. I think mantra is...
I thought we were arguing in favor of motto and mantra. What is going on with this episode?
What is going on? No, listen. If you can think of... I'm challenging listeners seriously here. If you can think of a string of words that is concise, that is pleasant. Remember, we spoke about on an earlier episode, watch how you speak for your audience. You never know who's listening. And if it's something that is actually meaningful, especially if it's something that can maybe incite some action, or incites and lets people know what action you'd take, what you will take, then you're onto something. And I don't know everybody's personality type out there, but, not the bar talk, not the locker talk. So watch the innuendos in your mottos. Make it something that you could put into a professional space on the elevator, real quick pitch. That could be your future job. That executive right there could be like, dang, you good at them slogans, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because
Make it sellable.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a particular song in which a rap artist said, and I remember this when I was little because I thought it sounded really cool, that I clearly could not take into workspace. It was, life is a B, cuss word, and then you die. I can't say that in a professional space. Like, that's not cool.
And that's unfortunate, because I agree with that motto.
And I do too, but I can't say it everywhere.
That's horrible. All right, man. I know I, for one, am so curious, creatively curious even, my motto, what the audience will come up with as far as mottos or taglines or catchphrases or mantras or whatever you choose to share.
And you know what they can do?
TrevorCmedia@gmail.com is where you can reach us directly with audience feedback, questions, concerns. Do you want to be interviewed? Do you want to hang out with us? Do y'all want to go get something to eat?
It's COVID. What you talking about?
Right. So many of those things I just listed won't actually happen. But if
Till
you still like
2023?
to talk to us, hey, we right here. So please send us an email. Let us know what you're thinking. And let's get busy. Until next time, everyone.
Bye.
This has been a Trevor C. Media production. Thank you for listening. You can find more Trevor C. Media content on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or wherever streaming services are available. Please keep following our journey.